Feeling lost in the process of change is more common than you think. And today I'm going to share simple, practical steps that will help you start shifting from feeling stuck to moving forward. Welcome to today's episode. If you've been feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or unsure where to even begin on your journey towards a happier, more fulfilling life, you're in the right place. I'm Sheila Williams, and today we're going to talk about that feeling of being paralyzed by indecision, knowing you want change, but feeling completely unclear on how to start. Sound familiar? Let's break it down step by step so you can start moving forward without the overwhelm. So grab a notebook and let's take this journey together. Now, it's normal to feel overwhelmed when you know you want the change, but you're just not sure where to begin. So acknowledging this feeling is actually the first step towards creating clarity. So don't worry, feeling lost or stuck doesn't mean that you're failing. It's a natural part of your personal growth. And sometimes feeling overwhelmed can come from trying to fix everything at once. So if we focus on simplifying the process, it can feel better. I would encourage you to write down an area of your life that feels the most overwhelming. So it might be career, relationships, health, whatever it is for you. Don't try to solve anything. Just notice what is feeling overwhelming. And then remember that change will never happen all at once. You didn't get there in a day, so you're not going to get somewhere else in a day. The biggest mistake is thinking that you need to solve everything immediately. Instead, focus on one area where you feel stuck, and then we're going to use practical steps to make it feel much more manageable. Here's a great question to ask yourself. If I could make one small change in this area today, what would it be? It could be as simple as taking a walk, journaling, or reaching out to a friend for support. If you could commit to even 5 minutes a day, considering what might feel better or what a change might be that feels like you could either think about it or even take the action, allow yourself to be easy and take those small steps, because each of those small steps will get you closer to where you want to be. So as you choose to focus on only one small thing this week, notice that as you narrow your focus, you actually can remove the overwhelm to make it feel more clear to get to the finish line. So notice how when we have these large goals, they can feel absolutely daunting because we just don't know where to focus to take those first steps. When we break it down, we narrow our focus, we get it down even more granular, even more narrow. We can give ourselves small, easy actions to take. Reaching a big goal, it can feel impossible if it feels too far away of where you want to be. But as we make it into smaller, more digestible steps and tasks, those are things that we can actually focus on and feel the sense of accomplishment when we have it. 2 more helpful tips would be to celebrate your progress. So often we have our eye on that end prize and we forget to celebrate the small wins. Even just having the awareness, that's a win. Thinking about what might feel better, that's a win. Deciding on what that small task for today is going to be, that's a win. Taking the 5 minutes to focus on it and maybe take that action, that's a win. Let's string these wins together and change the idea that you're not taking the action, that you're not getting to where you want to be, and acknowledge that you are doing what is necessary to get you to where you want. And that ultimately is always going to feel better. Now, setting a realistic timeline, that's the next tip. Because again, You know you want to change, and you know you wanted it yesterday, but know that although something may happen, that it just falls into your path, to expect it to happen immediately, it's going to set you up possibly for some disappointment. So you don't need to think it's going to take a long time, but allow it to feel easy. So if putting it off for another year feels too hard, we'll bring it closer. But imagining that you need to do a lot of hard work in the next 2 weeks to get it, if that feels really uncomfortable, well, know that you haven't hit that sweet spot quite yet. So give yourself the gift and some grace to have it be a more reasonable time frame. For the next 7 days, I would challenge you to pick one theme or focus area to guide your actions. Now, keep in mind, this doesn't have to be anything that's hard work. It might be as simple as self-care, as for 7 days in a row, choosing to do things that feel better for you, that's taking care of you. Allow yourself to get comfortable with imperfection. Don't need it to be perfect before you can do anything. Now, keep your momentum going by focusing on each next small step. Even if the one before didn't go perfectly, allow yourself to stay positive, to celebrate the wins, to check in at night and notice, how did it go? And if you didn't do it, give yourself again that permission to let it be okay, but commit again to tomorrow. Understanding your why can be really helpful, and ask yourself, why do I want this? Why do I think it's important? And as you reconnect with your why, you'll reconnect with your intentions. If it feels helpful, use a tool like a calendar or a journal to keep yourself on track. Revisit your intentions in the morning, and at night, reflect on how it went. Always allowing that you are moving forward simply by having your focus on knowing that you want more. So don't ever worry that you are stuck. There's never going to be a time when you are actually stuck. Having this desire is already moving your head. So thank you for joining me today. Remember, feeling overwhelmed may be part of your journey, but it doesn't have to stop you from moving forward. By focusing on small, manageable steps and embracing imperfection, you can create the clarity you need to start making more progress. You don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to start. If you enjoyed this episode and want more tips to creating a life you love, well, be sure to subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to know what you think. So, what is your next step? Pick just one area of your life where you feel overwhelmed, as if you're not moving the way you want, and take the smallest action you can think of to get started. I promise it's the small steps that lead to big changes.